Hi, this is Joe Hage with Medical Device Marketing Consultancy, Medical Marcom. I'm here with my friend Michael Paquin. He is a fellow of the Health Information Management System Society, or HIMSS. Michael, I wanted to ask you about meaningful use and how to set up an appropriate EMR selection meeting.
Okay, so one of the things as physicians decide to select a vendor for electronic medical records that I always suggest to my clients is that you select 4 to 5 EMR vendors and have them set up with what you would like to see during a demonstration. So let's look at how that might affect your practice. If I were going to call vendor A, so we don't mention any names here, I would probably send vendor A 2 or 3 pieces of the papers that you use mostly in your office. That could be an insurance form, that could be a doctor's note, that could be something that you're very familiar with, maybe the top 2 pieces of paper in your office. I would send that to the vendor and I'd say, I'd like to see you for an appointment for a demonstration at my office. And when you come, I would like you to be able to show me how that paper becomes real in your electronic medical record. All medical records companies say that they can make a document electronically. So what I want to do is select a vendor that's going to show the time and effort to show how something that is important in my practice is actually working in their electronic medical records. And they all can do this for you. So I would select 2. I'd give it to all 5 of the vendors, and I'd ask them to come and set up for their appointment. Next, what I would do is I would set the location and the place for the presentation. It needs to be something other than an exam room where everybody can clearly see a monitor or a video screen and actually look at the product. The next thing that we want to do is really set up the audience. And by setting up the audience, I think it's highly important that you first look at the EMR the way the vendor would like to show it to you.
Explain that.
And so let me explain that. So what will happen quite often is you'll get 4 or 5 doctors in a room, or a doctor and 2 or 3 nurses, and a vendor will start to show you their product. And all of a sudden it'll be, can you show me how it does this? Or can you show me how it does that? And what happens is the mind doesn't see the workflow the way it would actually happen in office. And what happens is you start to get confused because you have a vendor go quickly to this screen or quickly to this screen. I call it the puppy dog syndrome. And that's where the vendor becomes the puppy dog and wags the tail trying to answer your questions. Save or write down all of your questions. Let the vendor demo his product so you can see what the actual workflow is going to be in your practice. Take a look at that workflow and then take a small break and then come back and ask the questions, and then you'll see how the vendor goes between the different templates, the different documents, the different things that they need to go through. And at that time also, I will imagine that you'll have half the questions taken off of your list and be able to see them in his first demonstration where he actually shows you the product. You'll get a much nicer, complete feeling of the product. That's our tips for today, and we thank you for the time.
Thank you, Michael.